What's going on, y'all? Man, I just got done working out, man, and this video came to me. If we're gonna have success this year on both sides of the ball, is your heart strong? Everybody talks about, the heart of your team is the O line and the D line, right? Which, yeah, it's true, but you don't have to have hella talent on them sides of the ball to be successful. Are they playing? Or is the D line playing physical? Can the D line? Do you at least have a guy? If you got a guy, you can do a lot of things. If you just had a guy on the O line, you ain't got to have 5 Pro Bowlers, but do they play as a unit? Do they play physical? I've been on teams in the past where our O lines wasn't the best talent wise, but we had a culture built. We played physical. We got off the ball and we dominated. Other people who had more talent than us, you know? So with that being said, right, the heart of your offense is the O line and Dak Prescott, right? And if you're gonna have any success on offense, the heart of your team has to be at its best. We know Dak can contribute, but the O line, you can see that the offense is the heart of the team because they continue year after year to put resources on the O line, multiple draft picks. Look at what they did this year. Look at what they did last year. They continue to want to improve and make sure that their heart of the line is at its best, regardless if they have 5 Pro Bowlers or not, right? So, if your heart is playing together, then we'll be just fine on offense. Evidently the heart of our team ain't the wide receiver core because look what they did with Amari. Look how they going about wide receivers this year. It's just CD and company, especially until Gallup come back. So that's not the heart. Running back ain't the heart because look, other than Zeke, if we didn't have Zeke, what would we be doing at running back? Getting later draft picks. Look what we doing, Tony Pollard. Look at who the running backs competing for the third spot. So it just all depends on what your coach values. And we know for sure, especially in the past, our coach valued the offensive line and quarterback position. He got Aaron Rodgers. Look at the offensive line that he stayed drafted. So he does believe in that versatility. Why you think he like versatile offensive linemen that can play more than one spot, just in case. Because he know that that's important in what he wants to do. Now let's look at the defense, the heart of the defense. For Dan Quinn, it has always been D-line and safety. Them is the heart of the team. Yeah, he has other players that's very good, but look at it, the heart of his team. He just needs one linebacker, right? Just like he just needed one corner, you know what I mean? Richard Sherman, True Font, and everything else, kind of just plays his part. They kind of just fills in. He just need one side of the field to be taken care of, and the rest he can scheme, But he also knows he needs to value his cleanup man. Look, if you don't believe me, look how deep that D-line is, right? He know pass rusher, especially the way the game has came now, pass rushing and people that can play more than one position is valued. So you have everybody on that D-line that can go get it. And that does something that's going to contribute to the success of this team. Look at the resources that he has put in. Micah can rush. He knew that Micah could play. He knew Micah can rush as long and play linebacker. Look at Golston. Look at Bohannon. Look at Ridgeway. Osa. You know what I mean? And people that he kept. If he didn't value pass rush, would Tristan Hill have been on his team last year? Would he still be on his team and started this year? No, because he knows. We got Law. We have people that can do multiple things. Okay, now look at safety. Look at what he had in the past. Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, right? Look at what he got now. Malik Hooker, Curse, Wilson. Look at what he doing in Israel. Mukamu. You know, look at all them safety. Look at and Mike agrees. Look at what Mike had. Morgan Burnett. Ha ha. You know, you know what I'm saying? They safety is is valuable to clean it up and to get after the quarterback. And everything else is fills in. He just need one that can just man him up at linebacker, you know, which is Micah. If you really look at it, right, as a true Mike, where is our true Mike? A true Mike. Micah could play Mike, but is he a true Mike? No. Is Leighton a true Mike? No. He's Cotton. He's big, but bro, Leighton ain't physical. Is Anthony Barr a true Mike? No. He's been playing out of position his whole career to me. Can't nobody else convince me otherwise. Yeah, he just had the athletic ability to play it, just like Micah Parsons. But Anthony Barr should have been rushing that passer, though. Yeah, he came out light. So as soon as he filled in his body, he should have been full go. You're probably true. Cox is not a true Mike. Your true Mike is Harper. But he's probably going to be a fourth linebacker at best. You don't have a true, but that's okay. Because you really don't need a true Mike to be successful, to win the Super Bowl. You know, you just need run and hit players. And we have a whole bunch of them. Everybody on that roster is a run and hit player. And everybody on that linebacking core can do more than one thing. He just need corners that can look at the cheap contracts that he gave Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis. Cheap. For what Anthony Brown does for this team, that's cheap. That's cheap. Because you let Anthony Brown that contract go. He's getting paid, and it ain't going to be from us. So you better appreciate that now. And look at what he does. He drafts Deron Bland. He had to draft them corners. We had to get them corners because we had no corners. So he had to spend on Diggs. And where did we draft Diggs? He had to spend on Kelvin. He got but his true form is where Nashawn Wright. You know, if there's sometimes you can't, sometimes you gotta push that. You got to push your priority up just a little bit because sometimes, a player just falls in your lap that you just have to go get. But look at where he drafted Richard Sherman at, though. That's all I'm saying. And look at what they spent on Earl Thomas. So, and look at how he's forming the roster, though. Good safeties, good D-line, and everything falls in. Yes, he has a very good corner, to maybe elite corner, and he has Micah Parsons, who's probably damn near going to be one of the best players to ever play in the NFL. How the hell you let somebody... He slipped to us. COVID was a blessing. But them is the heart of your team. The offensive line, quarterback, safeties, and that D-line. But not everybody else. Not everybody else that plays. Their heart is not the offensive line. If the Bengals' heart was the offensive line, then why the hell did they put that type of offensive line around Burrow? Burrow was getting picked off and still went to the bowl. Bengals had good safeties. Bengals had that one guy in Hendrickson. But it was Burrow and the wide receivers because they had good wide receivers. They had Chase, Higgins, Boyd. Them is good wide receivers, bro. You will want Higgins, Boyd, and Chase on your team right now. And you wouldn't be talking the way that you talk. The Rams, come on, man. Who can you name me somebody on the Rams offensive line? What did they spend their resources in? Right? D line, of course, Von Miller. You know, that D line, that was a heart. Safeties for them. Why you think they called up Weddle out of retirement? Because they valued that safety. They had Ramsey, yes, they had Ramsey, but who the hell was they playing corner? Who was they linebackers? It's how you want to build your team, and it's how you want to play football. Is what I'm trying to tell you. It boils down to. There's been plenty of teams who hasn't had that good of an offensive line win the ball, but there's plenty of teams that kind of had, you know. But one thing's for sure, one thing's for certain. A lot of the teams that has went to the bowl, that D line was the heart. That D line was the heart. It for sure was the heart. Tom Brady, his D line was the heart. Tampa Bay, New England, Russell Wilson, his D line was the heart. Aaron Rodgers, his D line was the heart. Patrick Mahomes, his D line was the heart. Up front is the D line of the heart, but not. But you know it. But look at what we had though when we had Travis Frederick, Lyle Collins, and Tyron Smith. We had them Pro Bowlers and we didn't do nothing. It's just how you want to play football. Like I said, it's more of. I'm not saying that offensive line is not value because you do need value. You need to have continuity. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you have 5 Pro Bowlers or no Pro Bowlers, you still have to have continuity. But it ain't like you can't scheme your way out of that. Certain teams, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, the Colts. What was their identity a few years back before the team out? We want to run the ball. We needed to have they had a great offensive line from left tackle to right tackle. And they had running backs, and you could put any running back behind that offensive line, and they was going to still run the ball. And they had T.Y. Hilton, who was always hurt. And they was throwing it to number 1 wide receivers like Pascal. They had everybody playing. They had every scrub playing wide receiver, and they was still moving the ball because their identity was that offensive line. Look what they had Jacoby Brissett playing quarterback and still was moving the ball. You know why? Because their identity was run the ball. Not everybody's identity is run the ball. Look how far the Bills went. What was their identity? We need to throw the ball. Josh Allen. Man, they sucked at running the ball. And that was the reason why for their downfall. They sucked at running the ball. But Josh Allen to make some plays for him, though. It just all depends how you want to build your team. Not every team with Mahomes have Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? It's just how you want to play. It doesn't really matter. Your play style is, but can you adjust? Can you really adjust to more than one forms? When they try to, when one thing ain't going, can you adjust to the others? And you know the Rams had 3 running backs that can do their thing. They had different running backs that can do their thing. They was built in that team. They on Odell and Cooper Kupp. You see how they had to get Odell. It was hard, but the reason why the Rams won that thing is because the Bengals, their corner sucked. So Cooper Kupp was having his way. All you had to do was, you had one job, stop Cooper Kupp, and you couldn't do it. Sometimes your team goes in, the Bengals. Like I said, to go back to the Bengals, Joe Mixon was a big part of that, though. So, yeah, we look at the wide receivers, though, but Joe Mixon was a part of that. And we ain't going to act like, even though Joe Mixon is a very good running back, we ain't going to act like, man, Joe Mixon ain't been underperforming, though. We ain't gonna act like, before the wide receivers and Burrow came out, he was just playing his good football, and now he wasn't always hurt. Yes, he always had that because, like I said, because I'm an Oklahoma fan, And when it was him and P. Ryan, I was like, shoot, Mixon is the best running back out of this bunch. He the better for the NFL. And he is. But just imagine how, but if Joe Mixon was the go and you put a decent running back in the fold, I bet you that offense will still go. So it's just how you want to play. Up front is very important for every team. Like I said, don't get up on this video downplaying that because I'm not saying that. Up front is very important on both sides of the ball. But as far as like putting heavy resources, not every team puts heavy resources up front. The Bengals, they spent their money on Hendrickson in the nose tackle. You know what I'm saying? And that was big for them. Everything else was just fill in. So that's all I'm saying. I don't think, yeah. They wasted Geno Atkins though, but that's another story. But it's just how you want to play. Really, you know what I'm saying? Some teams, like for instance, Carolina back in the day, right? Who was their identity? Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, and they had Shaq coming in. And you take one of them out the fold, they hurt. You know what I'm saying? You take one of them out the fold, they hurt. So it's just how you want to build your team. And then whoever's a heart of your team, how do you build around them to complement them? I done seen teams where not that good D lines go far. In my playing days and in the league. I done seen teams with not so good offensive line go to the bowl, win the bowl. Who's your heart? Who's your heart of your team? And how do you build around that heart? And like I said, the heart for the Dallas Cowboys is safety and D-line. Y'all gonna say Michael Parsons? Yeah. Okay, but Michael Parsons, he's a blessing. Like, he's everything. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't build this team around Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons came into the fold. We just got blessed with Michael Parsons. So we're thankful for Michael Parsons. Now you can do anything that you want to because you got Michael Parsons. And Michael Parsons is probably going to win us a lot of games. But what do you classify Michael Parsons as? Because last year he was doing a whole bunch of rushing. So that goes back into what I just said. Because he played a whole lot of D-line, am I correct? And like he said, once he loses a step, he's going to play full-time DN. He's just an athlete that can do it all. Not every team has an athlete that can do it all. If you didn't have Michael Parsons, would you still be a good defense? Yes, you would. Because you had that D-line and you had the safeties. And all you got to do is just go plug you in another Mike linebacker that's good, and then you're going to be just that. But Michael Parsons, he just raises you to another level. But like I said, not every team has a Michael Parsons. So don't go thinking that. So there y'all have it, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. But y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. We out.